Yo, what up? Good morning. Welcome to another early morning conversation. Sorry that there's not going to be a lot of editing on this. It's because, shoot, I ain't got time. Work has been busy. Man, so much has happened since we last talked. Finally had a conversation with one of my advisors about graduating Bishop State. I thought that was cool. Had sort of an incident. Let me explain, what happened. And let me know if any of you can relate. Do any of you have any family members who are older, like boomer generation and up, who will have, quote unquote, some encouragement, right? But the way they deliver it is harmful. You know what I mean? Let me repeat that. Like, they may have a message for you that they feel that you need to hear, but the delivery is in fact harmful. So, how do you mitigate that as the one receiving that? Because in order to communicate, there are two parties. There's the person sending and the person decoding and receiving, right? Basic stuff. But what if in the decoding process, there's something there that makes you question the intent of the person? Just like when doing something that's asked of you, but doing it, to the detriment of the said person, like malicious compliance. Like, what if there's malicious encouragement? Right? Now, I want you to take that and apply that to someone you love, right? What if you've expressed to this person before that their delivery is harmful to you? And their response is, I'm sorry, but there's no real actions to change it, right? Do you eat the meat and spit out the bones? Or do you start to create distances? Or, how do you do that? Because I've been trying to have this conversation with this person for, I want to say 2017. This is 8 years now. Like, how do you convey that, hey, I'm not with the way you speak to me, regardless of your intent? And, like, where's the boundary? Do I set the boundary? Or do I have to allow this person to continue and I just have to receive the message, as quote-unquote tough love? And they hit you with the, I know you don't want to hear this, and they just say what they want to say, Like, I feel like anytime you have to give a disclaimer before you give encouragement, I feel like there's something there, Also, if the person is giving you, quote unquote, criticism and encouragement, but they aren't open to criticism, well, where does that leave you? How does that affect your relationship, right? Now, I'm going to add another layer to this. What if this is your parent? How do you approach this? Like I'm seeing where the sliders go. I'm seeing where the knobs turn, where we have to dilute our responses to my question. Like, because I know plenty of you just like cut them off, move on, cut them off. But like, where does, do you give like 10% more because it's a parent or a loved one or someone close to you? Do you give more leeway? Do you give for your boundaries, or do you affect it?
I ask that because I'm going to give you the scenario.
I'm having a good day, a good, cool day. Me and my lady, we decided that in order to continue our weight loss journey, we need to meal prep. That way we stop going out to eat so much, right? Stop spending so much. So I'm constantly looking up recipes, constantly, and been cooking more as a result. So found this recipe, really dope potato chicken mash, like it gets your proteins and stuff, and your carbs that you need. Everything is there that you need. I'm making it. I'm happy, and I get a phone call. It's my mom. Now, granted, me and my mom don't talk every day. I'm just not that type of son. I don't talk to anybody every day except my girl, because we see each other every day. Because I have my own world, I have my own peace, I have my own, stuff going on. And actually, no, I called her because I had missed her call. So I called her back, and she was like, "What's up?" I was like, "Nothing." She was like, "Well, I'm leaving work. I just want to tell you because sidebar, we had a conversation about me losing my channel, and when I told her, she told me to stop posting about political stuff altogether, period. And I told her, no, I'll just select, and thank you, but I ultimately believe it's up to me to post, what I need to post. And she hung up in my face when I said that. Cool, no problem. I ain't tripping. That's what my mom does. You say something she don't like, or you don't concede, she hangs up. She gets snippy. It is what it is. But this time, I don't know if this was payback, but she kind of went in on me. She pulled one of these. She starts out slow, talking about, well, you see what's going on. You need to go to church. I really wish you would find a church so you could find the truth. Because if you really love someone and don't want to go to hell, you would think you would want to share the word with them so both of y'all could be together forever. And like, she's doing this, she's like, because I don't go to the old church I used to go to because it just wasn't compatible with me anymore. And she still goes there because honestly, I think she feels like she owes them something. She feels like either I have to go to church or I'm gonna go to hell. But that's another story. She just like trying to guilt trip me into finding a church faster. Now, granted, I don't ever talk to her about finding a church ever, because she's gonna try and guilt trip you into going to her church, and I ain't doing that. Nah, I'm good on it. So to create a boundary, I just don't tell her stuff. I control what information I give her and what I don't. So she goes on, because you see that the end of the world is coming. You look at all this, it's biblical. I don't know if you read. Last time I talked to you, you said you don't pray as much because you don't know what to say. Now, the reason I gave her that info is because I thought we were having a mother-son vulnerable moment. I was having a depressive episode, and she was like, how often are you praying? I was like, well, in these moments, I'm not praying as much because I honestly don't know what to say. But to turn and have that used against me made me realize I made a mistake for telling her that. I won't be sharing that information with her further. But I do pray. It was just, she misused the context of that. I was talking about in those moments where I feel that I don't know what to say. But anyway. So she kept going. And then now she transitioned to my physical appearance. And she was just like, well, you want to get married and you want to do right and keep it going forever, which is why you need to lose weight. Not knowing, she doesn't know that I'm on a weight loss journey, that I've been losing weight. Like, I've been throwing away old clothes. She don't know. Now, the last time my mom has physically seen me was early January. It's like mid-February. Before that, my mom saw me the day of Christmas. Before that, the day of Thanksgiving. Like, I don't go and see my mom a lot because this is how our conversations go. It's either a 50% chance it's going to be cordial, or the other 50% is going to be like digs at me. So at this point, I just stopped talking. I just let her go. And this conversation was like the longest 18 minutes of my life. And it was interesting. She was just like, you were just so much more confident when you were smaller. I just see it in you. And you don't want to lose Ashley. And Ashley's my girl. She was like, you don't want to be dependent on her if something happened to you and she get disgusted with you, because that's what women do. Women get disgusted. I'm telling y'all, this is the the type of conversations we have. And so we got done, and I'm just there. I'm just now existing. And my girl walks in and she's just like, what's up? I was like, I just talked to my mom. And I'm visibly defeated. And I just don't have words. So she asked me what was the conversation about, and I tell her, and honestly, she's turned off by the whole thing. She was just like, I don't like that shit. I don't like being used as a manipulation tool when she does not know what I in fact like or don't like about you. And she was just like, you were on your own path. I don't fuck with that. Like she was low-key upset. She was low-key mad that whole conversation happened. So, she manages to get me up a little bit, but it still fucked me up. So the next day, I go to work, visibly still fucked up, and I'm in the OR nurses area because I'm stationed there for this week. And older white lady, Miss Tracy. I fucks with Miss Tracy. Miss Tracy has always been sweet with me for the 4 years I've been at this job. We've always been respectful, cordial, and she's just a really sweet woman. Like, just honest to God, like a kindred spirit type shit. And we got on the topic of Valentine's Day, and older black lady also works there, Miss Jones, says, what are you doing for Valentine's Day, Jeremy? I'm like, well, we're gonna, go do like a corny thing. We're gonna go pick out the corniest gifts we can think of and present them to each other. She's like, oh, that's sweet. How long y'all been together? And I was like, 4 years. And she was just like, are you gonna marry this girl? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna propose this year. She's like, why you made that girl wait 4 years? Well, I told her, well, we both had stuff we wanted to work on independently to join together and become the best version of us for each other and for ourselves independently. And I was like, honestly, it took us 4 years to understand where we are and who we truly are. And in the grand scheme, was 4 years compared to forever. She looked at me, started clapping. She was like, ooh, I like that answer, young man. And Miss Tracy looks at me, who's looking me dead in my eyes. She was like, me and my husband stayed together 4 years before we got married too. And then we just started laughing about it. Then we got into the conversation of what marriage is, deeply, and how we shift and how it's the death of one's self for the creation of you both. Like you have to, and when I say the death, I mean ego death, like pride death. Like certain things have to be left behind when you're single to be joined as one. I always knew this. I just knew I couldn't have this conversation with everyone. And she tells me her story about her and her husband, how they went through it, and how they had trouble going to church. Now, mind you, I had not brought up church at all at my struggle, but she was confirming everything I was experiencing because she had gone through it first. And she told me, yeah, we had trouble finding one, and you know how you guys are. It's hard for y'all to get emotional, and he'd have trouble praying when he's flustered. I'm like, oh my God, she's talking about me. And she said, the funny thing about God will talk to you, and you have to recognize his voice. And sometimes his voice isn't like a literal voice. Sometimes it's coming through other people or something you might read. And that's how the Bible works, because the Bible can apply to you in different instances and in different ways. And that's why it's the living word. It's God's word, and therefore it still manifests to you. It still applies to you. This woman was preaching to me just by talking about her experience. And this whole time we're having this conversation, I'm like, now why can't my mom talk to me like this? Why can't my mom have this approach to me? Why do I have to get the build up that I need from elsewhere? And I believe God was showing me the metaphor of Christianity. I believe God was showing me that just because someone's close to you does not mean they are qualified to minister to you in the way that you need. Proximity isn't everything. Sometimes I have the best person for you in the most unlikely of places. Sometimes the person you relate to is not physically near you or have no connections to you. Because sometimes connections can create a way for the flaws of that person to damage you. It's like a conduit. Sometimes people's connections are frayed due to their own struggles that they haven't healed from. Sometimes you have to meet the person who is understood, done the diagnostic on themselves, and allowed themselves to heal so that their connections can truly be complete and healthy to the other person. Man, I told her what happened with my mom because at this point I was already in tears. And she told me she's been through that too. She's going through something like that right now. And she was like, just pray, just talk to God. She was like, just talk to him. And she was like, I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to me too. But just talk to him. You'll recognize his voice. He'll say something. You'll get a message from it. Just make it a point to talk to him. And bruh, that's all I fucking needed. Like all that extra riff-raff bullshit that people be doing when they're close to you. You don't see and know the struggles that other people go through. And I think it's really irresponsible to continue to be a parent and not continue to grow emotionally to see beyond what you want. I just think that's interesting. That's one of the reasons I never wanted to become a parent, because seeing how some parents can become so stuck in what they believe they want for their children that they don't see that they could be a detriment to their children is crazy to me. Absolutely nuts. And you know what? I will never know what it's like to be a parent and go through those things, because I've made a vow to never become a parent because of those connections of what I felt. But anyway, I just wanted to share that story with you. I hope everybody has an amazing day. Find your peace, guard it, protect it, and live in it. I love you. You are amazing. Stay dope, and happy Valentine's Day.